Hello, everyone. Happy, what's today? Today's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's Friday Junior. That's right. Hey, Carla. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Linda. How you guys doing today? Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, Jen. Finished finals yesterday and done until the fall. Heck yeah. Congratulations. Hey, Ambrosia. You're exhausted? That's understandable. My wife is traveling because she works as a registrar, and the place she works for, one of their campuses, has graduation this weekend, so she is there to work that. Which is why today will be a longer live. And obviously, if people can't be here, I understand. But design, jewelry, and art classes, heck yeah. How was everyone's day yesterday? I missed being live, especially compared to what I had to do. Would have much rather been live than what I ended up doing. Everything okay? Yep. Yep. Just tired. Just, you've spoiled us. Well, thank you. But yeah, everything's okay. Had to bring my wife to the airport, had to go to the DMV to get new license plates. And then working on a show. So it was just a really busy day. And I don't like going to the DMV. Hey, Wendy. And I'm planning this trip, and things have just gotten more expensive, guys. It's $300 for a hotel room for one night. She went to school for nursing. So she just does not, wait, what? Are you talking about your former gift? Or did you just give? I'm trying to raise money now. This is something I'm adding into. But yeah. It's kind of frightening how expensive things have gotten. I don't know how they expect anyone to be able to afford to stay in these places. Oh, trust me, I look for bargains anywhere I can. There just didn't happen to be any bargains where I was going. The choice is either spend more and not rent a car or take Ubers, or spend. It's just, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. So morning, Aaron. How are you doing? My entire day gets screwed up when you're not on. Again, unfortunately, not where I'm going for part of it. I am crashing with someone in New York to save money. And some of the trips that I want to do, I'm pretty sure I can crash with people. It's just this specific part in this specific area I can't. And there are ways you can do it cheaper, but then you need to have a vehicle. You need to have a car or something. So it's like one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. So the money you're saving on a hotel, you're spending on a car. So if I was driving, or I lived around, like, if I was staying for like a longer time, it would probably be worth renting a car and getting a cheaper hotel. But when you're only there for one day, yep, everything is nuts. It just is, and it's fine. It would be a blow-up mattress in the living room. I appreciate that, Ambrosia. I mean, I will be in New York, so if anyone is in New York, I'll probably be in New York for a couple days just because I got quite a few friends there. So I'd love to meet up with people. Like I said, so I'm going to start in Virginia, and then I'm going to go give the middle finger to the White House in DC and the Supreme Court or die. I mean, it probably doesn't help that I'm traveling near the 4th of July too, because that's the only time that worked. We'll do, Ambrosia. You have a place for me 30 minutes outside of Austin? Perfect. Made flights go up, so bummer about that. Yep. Yeah, I'm actually taking the train to Virginia and then probably flying back because I'm not taking the train from New York. That's like a 14-hour train ride. Cheap. I'd rather spend extra money and not lose literally a half a day. Morning, Clara. Ambrosia, I've seen that. I don't know if they'll be able to raise enough funds for that. Not to mention, yeah, but we'll see. Especially when you barely use the room. Yeah. Well, like I said, a lot of it's art. Do you have dates yet? Yeah. I've already gotten a lot of the stuff. I tried to get it before prices started going up because I knew stuff was going to make it go up even more. I don't exactly know when I'm leaving, but I know when I'm going. So I'm going to be heading to Virginia on the 24th. That is when I leave for VA. There was 135 million pledged the other day. It's a great idea to try. Sure. Worth a shot. I wish they could take some of that and pledge it over here, but you know. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jen. Who actually donates? Yeah. Could people donate their Delta miles? You mean to me? I don't know how that works. Austin? Yeah, Austin's expensive. All cities are expensive now. There's just no escaping it. Good morning, Eleanor. How are you, my friend? Sorry, I'm feeling just feels like it's been a weird day, and maybe it's because the wife is gone. You're good, Ambrosia. I got you. I saw someone float the idea that Savannah Bananas could buy out Spirit. That would definitely go with their color scheme. For sure. Hmm. But yeah, today's felt weird. I also feel like I got a headache. That's probably actually chunk of- Morning show. Got to go back to bed and start the day all over. I know, right? I just feel like you ever get that feeling the world's against you, and yet you're saying that while you know things are actually like could be worse, or you're just sitting at that precipice of a lot of things going from doing really well to struggling every day. That's what I feel like right now. Especially when I see the stock markets going up because because Trump says something that's not true. That's the part that pisses me off. Every time I see the stock market go up because of something Trump said, I just sit here and I go, well, there's another rich person getting more money. I'm watching Paradise right now. It's kind of freaking me out. Like, it's not a stretch. I don't know Paradise. Is that a show? I absolutely have just stopped looking at the stock market. I just wrote a story about it for one of my finals. What a coincidence that you mentioned that. Well, I mean, it's like this whole process, like this fundraiser. I'm asking it's hard to ask people to help fund doing something when I know money is getting tighter for all of us. And I feel like I'm like on this precipice of just of growing. But I feel like I'm just stuck and I don't know what I can do to fix that stick. I can just keep trying things and hopefully something will do it. That's all I can do. Through Disney Plus, Sterling L. Brown, Jalen Woodley. Ah, okay. Might have to check it out. I don't know. Not quite sure. I know, and Shell, for all of you, I appreciate you. For the ones that do give, I appreciate you. This is just it's you know, it's one of those things where I see the problem and I know what it takes to fix the problem, or at least I just don't know how to get, again, I don't know how to get over that edge. I know, and I appreciate that, Eleanor. I really do. So many of you have been so insanely generous in all ways, not just to the GoFundMe, but for everything. So thank you. More than you know, thank you. Sorry, I've got musical music in my head now. Well, I'm happy that you guys are all here. We just need more people to be here. We need this community to grow somehow. Thank you, Eleanor. You're good, Shell. I got you. Morning, Lori. It's interesting. It's one of every day I talk about how plus everyone needs a mucker's gear. Like part of me feels like I need to be more like chipper and excited. Hey, Silver. But then I always read the day's news and I'm like, I find it hard to be chipper and excited, you know? It's hard. Mm-mm. Some days I have to ignore the news and enjoy my life. I wish some days that a large part of the work I do did not involve having to pay attention to the news. I mean, I do things oftentimes that help me ignore the news, but um, like yesterday, I largely ignored the news because I was literally, who should you vote for as the next governor of California? Oh man, that's a tough one. Um, what do you personally, what are your personal values and what do you think so far of the ones that are running? You can feel energy is low right now. Nationwide, people are tired. Money getting tight isn't making people less tired, unfortunately. Hey, Jamie, good morning. Thank you. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and bring up the energy. Let's bring it up. My Stream Deck died, so you guys won't be getting so you won't be getting the sound. I did hear that Jeff Bezos sponsored the Met Gala. I wish I were shocked. The way the state has been going. What way has the state been going? He invited Kanye? Yeah, my Stream Deck is dead, so fortunately we're not getting any of the sounds anymore. Hello, Mikhail. I mean, there's homeless and poverty problems in every state right now. It also has the most people living there. And yes, there's an affordability crisis, again, everywhere. No, I think it kicked the bucket. And again, I'm not saying that there's not a problem in California, but there's a problem in every state right now. Every state is dealing with it. Florida has 0 issues, bro. Good one. That was a good joke. I like it. In California, it's yeah, no one can afford insurance. It is not the best in the country. Can't rebuild a home on property you own. No one could probably be able to rebuild a home on property they own right now. We have a lot of people in Canada here. It's way better than, it's still better. Yep. And again, I'm not saying there aren't problems in Cali because of the government not much. No, it's because of money. Permits too. And again, you're sitting here. No, it's not. Okay. Well, I know plenty of people that live in California that would disagree with you. Morning, Jeffries. Okay. We pay the most in tax. Depends what tax you're talking about. I've actually, there's, depending on what you're talking about, you also get more than most states. You want to see it fixed? Well, that's good. I think we should want to, we should never say that everything is perfect and we should, all taxes? No, not all taxes. California is not going to get a Republican governor and mayor. Lose it for me? Free doesn't work? Who said universal health care is free? You still pay into universal health care. It is much cheaper and much better than our current system by like 1,000,000,000%. Taxes go up. Yeah. The money, some of the money that you would pay into healthcare, into your healthcare plan to an insurance company, would instead go into a universal healthcare system. But it would be less than you're paying to your insurance company. Why do so many Canadians don't? Some Canadians do. You already pay others health care, Johnny. How many, Ben? How many? Give me a number. What percentage? The amount of antagonistic labor expended in the healthcare insurance industry could be eliminated. Correct. You obviously don't know how health insurance works if you think you don't pay for other people's health care. We all pay for other people's health care. Literally every single one of us right now. No, you do not pay cheap health care. You don't. To include Canada? No, that's not how it works. I mean, in the end, Tuku, you vote for the person that you think is going to take California in the direction you want it to go. I honestly haven't looked into any of them enough to give my opinion on who I would vote for right now. There's already long wait times for non-emergency elective procedures. And if there's not, it's because people can't get them at all. Most people in this country go without any procedures because they can't afford them. So basically what you're saying is you want to have less wait time because you want to be able to get procedures that other people can't afford to get right now. Any chance Alberta leaves Canada? From my understanding from people who live there, it's not as easy as they think it is, but you're not paying for free healthcare. You're taking the money that we're already paying into the healthcare system and putting it into taxes. You don't even know what that means, Charles. Grow up. Our taxes would be no higher in the sense of the money that we already pay into private insurance would probably lower and go into taxes. Because again, right now, you are already getting subsidized. Every single one of you is getting subsidized. If you are on private health insurance, you are getting subsidized to be able to afford it. Hey, Candace. I know people in Germany. It works fine. And then your healthcare isn't tied to your employment, which would be fantastic. Never have to choose between paying for food and healthcare. Yep. Thank you, History Nerdette. They have to get extra insurance to cover the insurance. The free insurance won't cover. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Numbers. Healthcare tied to employment is one of the worst decisions made. Truth. There's no such thing as free insurance. No, people buy private insurance because they want to get extra, and those people can afford to. Right now, we have tons of people that aren't getting any health care. You wouldn't be paying more in taxes. The money you are paying to private insurance would just go into a tax, just like your Social Security. We would not pay more for everything else. They do not wait forever and get bad care. That's a dumb statement. We have plenty of people. We have people from Great Britain right now talking about it. You think that tax wouldn't go up over time? Like our health insurance already goes up some? Sure, it would. They are not moving here to get medical care that Canada won't give them. We would save so much money, Jeremy. Like so much money. Oh, we're getting all the urban legends, Madeline. You sit here on TikTok and whine. I'm not whining. The people saying that we can't afford universal health care are the ones whining. I'm just talking. Does TikTok offer insurance? No. Anyone that's got a small business has to pay, then get a job. Who says I don't have a job? You get a job. I'm Canadian. I had an accident in February. Got seen right away. Got stitches, a CT scan. Yep. Paid $0. Yep. Average person in Germany pays 42% of their wages on taxes, which also pays your insurance. Yep. I know, Steve. Yeah. You do not get better health care. You are not getting better health care now than you would on universal health care. What does cheaper and better mean? It would cost you less and you would get more of it. That's what that means. Where's the proof? Lots of studies have been done on how much it would cost. I know lots of people that have. The proof is all the people complaining about the healthcare in places. We have a lot of people in this chat right now from those places, and they're saying it's fine. USA is amazing. Okay. Where are the funds coming from? The same place that they're coming from for all of our normal insurance. What is normal insurance? What we're doing right now. We pay insurance companies. And instead of us all having 20 different insurance companies, we'd all basically pay under one universal healthcare system. Taxpayers are not. We already pay for all. Every bit of money we pay, the reason it keeps going up is because we already pay for all. It wouldn't work. The USA too big. It would absolutely work. USA is not too big. Man, you guys. Wouldn't work. You can't do it. I'm gonna whine. Wah. It's not free healthcare. It does work. Think of future. I am thinking of future. Nothing is free. You're right. It wouldn't be free. Did I say free? I say universal healthcare. I don't say free. You've never experienced it. Uh-huh. Okay. Universal is way better. Hey, Patty. It's not free. My gosh. It's not free. Nowhere do I say free. Stop saying free. Only you guys are saying free. Wait list to get onto wait list. False. That's false. No, it's not. The government doesn't handle healthcare. They handle the payments for healthcare. Prove it. There's plenty of people that live in these countries right now that are saying it's not true. You're British. You've lived it. Okay. Well, the other people from Britain right now would disagree with you, Scotty. It's failing there. Okay. Yeah, we're spending $1 billion on a ballroom. Your arguments are so paper. Uh-huh. All right. Explain how insurance companies and shareholders take your premiums. They don't care. They just know it works for them, so that's all they care about. The healthcare system, British healthcare system as a whole is not what's bankrupting them. The government doing a piss poor job, especially the conservative government that's been there for a while, doing a piss poor job, but even the current one isn't doing great. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Bro. It will not raise the cost of healthcare by $2 trillion. Conservatives do tend to bankrupt things. One Google search. Yeah, because, you know, Google AI, that's a great source. AI, take advantage of it. AI is not a news source. Mm-hmm. Sure it does, Scotty. But we got to fund this war, right? I don't debate. Lamentable one. But paying for a ballroom is okay, right? Hey, Gen X. Then you have no point. Okay. Goodbye. Who's paying for the ballroom? Well, the way they're trying to get it paid for, taxpayers. Not trying to. Who is? Well, right now, it's not being funded by anybody right now. But Congress is trying to put $1 billion into a budget to pay for the ballroom. Hey, Ararish? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Hello, who am I? I'm nobody. The ballroom is not paid for outside funds. They're building another facility underground under it. Okay. It's still our taxpayer dollars, and that's part of it. No, Scotty. Most people do not go bankrupt. They just lose their life too. Thank you for showing you have no idea how society is working in America. Why do they need it? They don't. They don't. That's the answer to the question. The answer is they don't. Have you ever seen how much money is wasted building a courthouse? What is your point? What does the ballroom do, serious? Cost taxpayers money. Cost the United States more money that it didn't need to spend. When he is adding over $2 trillion a year to the national debt. It is not cheaper than Hilton. Not even a little bit. The upkeep costs on something like that would be insane. How was the airport? The airport was fine. Well, you would know about talking out of your butthole, name. They didn't need to book the Hilton. They had something in the East Wing that they got rid of. What's up, Shug? I'm not paying $1 billion for something. What's more expensive? If the ballroom is fraud in itself, the ballroom. I can't believe you guys who were talking about getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse are now being like, yeah, let's spend $1 billion in a ballroom. It's totally fine. This is insane. The heck? I know. He said he was running on affordability. He said almost a year ago to the day that if energy isn't down by 50% in 1 year, we could all be angry at him. And now we're like, no cheaper venue exists for VIP net cost. He doesn't need a venue. No, Mark, all of them are bad. Any fraud is bad. Any healthcare fraud is bad. Doesn't mean we need a ballroom. Why do you think both can't be true at the same time? No, Roll Tide. I'd rather fight for the country that I want. That's what we as Americans should do. 100% correct. Get used to it? Okay. Who pays for this healthcare? The same people who pay for their own healthcare through private. Taxpayers already pay for healthcare. You're already paying for other people's healthcare. We already pay for other people's healthcare. I don't understand why you don't get it. We already pay for other people's healthcare. We already do it. This would be cheaper because we wouldn't be paying a middleman and we wouldn't be paying for stockholders. Cheaper how? We wouldn't be paying for somebody to make profit. The reason it goes up is because health insurance companies want to make a profit. It's about making a profit for them. We've created a system where people's health care is a commodity that involves making profit. You take the profit out of it, it automatically becomes cheaper. They don't wait 8 months to see a doctor, Steven. Not from the insurance company. The government's not trying to make a profit. That doesn't mean doctors and stuff aren't making money. Stephen, there are plenty of people in here that have lived it. Sure you do. Okay. My sister waited 4 months to start chemo after being diagnosed with cancer. She lives in Vegas. There you go. See? Still happens in the US too. Correct. American health insurance companies are ruining the healthcare. Yes. We get screwed every day because we pay a buttload of taxes and it goes to nothing beneficial. Okay. I don't know why they're protecting the bill. I think people that protect billionaires hope that they will be one day. That's the only thing I can think of, Babs. It's wild. You don't even know what socialism is. Yeah, you want to know why an RN earns $75 hourly? Because there aren't enough of them. So they can charge more. There's low supply and a high demand. It's not because of the private healthcare system. It's not because of the private health insurance system. It's because nurses are leaving healthcare in droves because they get worked too hard. So the ones that are willing to stay get paid more because they have to pay more to keep them. Hey, Dawson. Nurses are under heavy stress. Yep. You are right, Merlin. You're seen on a priority basis, just like you are now. Yep. Most of the holdup was insurance company not wanting to pay for scans. Shocker, Jamie. Shocker. RN is an advanced degree. It's very difficult. I know. My wife got her degree and was an RN. It's also difficult work, physically taxing, terrible hours. Yep. And that happens more because there aren't enough of them. You don't know what socialism is, Sean? I do not want to pay a middleman to decide whether or not I get health care and to worry more about making profits off of people's health. It's not free healthcare. Europeans pay for that healthcare. No, because the government's job isn't to make money. The government sets rates on things. Just like anybody. No, universal health care would not increase taxes. Not in the way you're thinking. You would not be paying a private health insurance company anymore. And some of that money, for most of us, less of that money would go into taxes. So, yes, while technically our taxes would go up, we would lose bills in other places, i.e., to a health insurance company. I mean, history nerdette, it's not surprising to me. They probably could make a lot of money that way. Again, the people that invest in insurance companies, they're making bank right now. They do not have longer wait times in Canada. We've got people in Canada here right now. My daughter's trying to go to a doctor who's taking new patients, and the first available for her yearly checkup is not until February. The first availability for a doctor who's taking new patients is February. Think the same tax bracket with no copays, no deductibles, no premiums. Yeah. I got my new doctor last year. It took 2 years. My PCP as an established patient couldn't see me until a year. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You'll have to ask King Charles's daughter-in-law. My daughter's been waiting 5 months for a cardiologist. She also has been waiting 2 months just to get a call to see if she can get in with an epileptologist. Who knows how long the wait will be once she gets the call. If you're rich, you have great health care. Middle class, not so much. Yep, and poor, not at all. Canada's way better than ours. Yeah, way better. Not to mention getting us out of our insurance being tied to our job. Man, that would be so much better. Poor people can go to charity clinics. Now, if that is not a privileged statement, I don't know what is. If you're poor, then you just need charity. Dang. Let's not do stuff to get it so people can be healthy and get jobs and be able to afford stuff. Just, you know, Yeah, and also please point that out where I live, as though they're everywhere. Rural hospitals and rural clinics are shutting down like crazy around the country right now. Six-year healthcare employee just laid off last month. I'm sorry, Steve. That sucks. You know what, Scotty? You're just going to be rude to people. Goodbye. Go. Oh, rural hospitals are shutting down. For everyone who's over here on TikTok, just so you know, I'm also live over on the tube. It's actually a much better place. You don't have to worry about getting filtered. I have a feeling a lot of people are getting filtered. Oh, people are trying, Shell. So many people are trying. Are not interested in saving money on healthcare. Current ones? No, probably not. Thank you, everyone. Sad that some believe that because they have money, their health is more important. I mean, that is the unfortunate reality we've created with, hey Shadow, with our current end stage capitalism. We have taught people to care more about themselves and what's good for them and not care about other people. What's up, Captain? No. And could Canada and England and European healthcare systems be made better? Sure, of course they can. Nothing is perfect. But to say that it's worse there than it is here is categorically wrong. Is just categorically wrong. And that is the issue, right? In the end, that is the problem we're dealing with, is so many people are sitting here going, it's not whatever it's not perfect there. That means we can't do it. Or we can't think of a way that it can be perfect here, so we just shouldn't do it. Like, if perfection is the goal, then why do we do anything? But that is basically the excuse from people that are against it, is, well, there are issues with theirs. So we can't do that. And Honestly, I'm not sitting here saying we should do it exactly like Canada or the UK. Who says we can't learn from things that didn't work and make something that could work better? Yeah, right now you got doctors afraid to treat. Doctors are leaving the country. Scientists are leaving the country. Um, Hospitals are shutting down. Clinics are shutting down. You're literally going to have medical deserts around the country. Oh, yes. American Americans have been taught that everything we do is the best. Yes. Our issues is that well, yeah. And again, it's the same kind of people that are trying to say that we should that private healthcare is the best in the United States, right? Soda Cracker? Oh, we already have a medical crisis, Bonnie. We already have a medical crisis. Yes, American exceptionalism is out of control, Sana, for sure. You came here because all your comments on TikTok were being filtered out. Yeah, Jamie. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Morning, Shawnee. People can't afford to go to med school. Again, this is one of those things. Like, if we need more doctors and more nurses, why do we make it impossible for people to afford to do it? Like, let's put money towards training doctors and nurses and specialists. If we need it, if that's important to this country, that's the first word I've seen come out of your mouth, Alan. I know everyone thinks I'm ignoring them, and I might be, but how about start putting people for a profit? Also true. Medical associations act as gatekeepers. The cost acts as a gatekeeper, at least in the United States. It's just expensive. Well, yeah, making nursing degrees not professional. Again, I haven't seen anything you wrote until you wrote no answer, Alan. Free or affordable education is a benefit to the entire society. Yep. Universal healthcare would be run smarter, but also forcing every medical company to be nonprofit. Great. I think more things should be not for profit, especially if it involves something that people need to survive. I don't think survival should be profit based. Oh, I'm sure doctors and nurses are going to Canada. Teachers too. Scientists too. Scientists are going to Canada, to the EU. Oh, medicine ads on TV. Yep. Nonprofit should also be non-religious affiliated. I agree. I don't know what you said before, Ian, but it got filtered. So Gynos and OBs are leaving states with bans. Yep. You're a nurse, definitely considering going to Canada. I don't blame you. Okay. So you're saying your experience in that means that the whole system is worse than our whole system in the United States? That doesn't make any sense. That's the other thing that is odd to me. People think that just because their experience, one of their experiences is not good, that means that that ours must be better. Well, talk to the millions of people in this country that don't have any healthcare coverage at all, that couldn't get hernia surgery if they wanted to. Any of them would say, I'd be happy for a chance at one in 6 months. Healthcare is free in France. There's multiple countries with systems. Yep. But let the others be on insurance. You don't, again, you don't seem to understand how insurance works and why insurance works and how you can get insurance to be cheaper. The more people that are on one plan, the cheaper it can be. Because then they are all covering each other's expenses. That's how insurance works. If you put less people on it, especially if you're putting all the poor people on it, poor people right now tend to be the ones that aren't getting health care right now, or that need the health care right now. And again, just like with everything else in the United States, there is going to be pain involved in fixing any of our problems. I hope you all know that when it comes to voting in the future. There is going to be pain involved in every single one of our fixes. We cannot fix the national debt. We cannot fix our health insurance problems. We can't fix our affordability problems without some level of pain. I mean, most of us are sitting here going, well, we're already dealing with it, so. Oh, it totally improves quality. The poor are a sicker population. Yep. Keep it coming if that means fix it. Yeah, and Lauren, the problem is the people that are privileged right now, they're the ones that you have to convince to be okay with it. And they're the ones that are using their money to keep the current system in power. That's the problem. These people that are coming in and saying that they're not okay with some of these things are the ones that are right now benefiting from the systems. So why would they want things to get worse for them? That's the hard part. And again, in no way defending it, but that's the reality of what we're trying to deal with. One of our provinces had a socialist government. Sure, it did. Okay. I find 90% of the time anyone that says the word socialist government doesn't understand what socialism actually is. Oh, I read the rest. But you're sitting here blaming a socialist government. You're blaming socialism. And I would argue that most of the time when we use the word socialism to talk about any government, they aren't really socialists. They're just using the word. They always say, but they didn't do it right. And they probably didn't. You think mistakes can't happen? You think good governments and bad governments both are incapable of making mistakes? You think good people and bad people are incapable of making mistakes? Again, is the only option to be perfect? You think no change can be made unless it's perfect? Our late stage capitalistic society is going so great. I know, right, Ghost? I wish we could start a class action lawsuit to sue the government for mismanagement of funds and negligence, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we all that? Same. I've been hearing updates from his court case with Sam Altman. Dang. They are really going at each other. It's kind of wild. It really shows how different of a world they live in compared to all of us. There's no such thing as perfect or instant. It's fallacy. True. That is very true. Thank you guys. Thank you for the heart me's. It seems talking about universal health care is not bringing in people anymore. People are done talking about it. What should I make the new talking point? And it's definitely what I have over on the tube isn't bringing people in. Must not be engaging conversation. Holding off on my mammogram because of the copay. That's got to be frustrating, Carla. What about them trying to get rid of antidepressants? You know, what about them paying doctors to wean people off of antidepressants? They're not just trying to, not just the, because I think if we can make people less depressed, that's great. I think if we can have less people on antidepressants, that's great. I think that's a great thing. But the way they're going about doing it doesn't actually fix the problem. It still comes down to you're not fixing the frickin' problem, which is why are so many people depressed. And this is the issue that we have as a whole, right? It's not even ass backwards. It's fixing the problem takes time and money. Like, how would we make people less depressed? Well, we'd have to make things more affordable, because affordability causes a lot of depression. We'd probably have to do something to the Second Amendment, because what a lot of people are dealing with when it comes to that is causing problems. We'd have to start paying living wages, because wage stress is causing depression problems. We'd have to teach people how to communicate again and have empathy and humanity, all of us. That takes time and effort. You'd have to train more people to be therapists, which again, it costs money to do it, and people don't have money, so we have a shortage of them. It's the equivalent of giving Advil to people who are suffering from migraines. Yeah. You have to give up on greed. I mean, you're never going to be able to give up on greed, but you can change the direction that society, like we can chart the process of changing what society values more. But yeah, we need to invest in actual communities. Sure. I won't be able to function if they try this. Hey, Tiffany. Oh man, Tiffany, you missed all the people saying that Canada's healthcare system is just shit. You missed it. You missed it. There were so many people in here that were just like, Canada's healthcare, shit. We need people to take responsibility for their lives, not rely on government for everything. They don't want to rely on the government for everything. They don't want to rely on the government for anything. What's up, buddy?
Christ, what a pain in the ass it was hitting accept. I was talking to Tiffany and or what you were saying about Canada's healthcare. I was typing something and it wouldn't go down when I saw you ask me up. Oh, whatever.
Dems love big government. You don't know. Actually, I would argue that the Republicans love big government right now. Based on everything that is going on in this country, Republicans are the ones that love big government.
Yeah, so much for not expanding the power of the executive branch. That's the definition of big government. And they seem to be all in favor of that. Although asking them to understand constitutional limits is a waste of time.
There's this idea that people want to be on like things like SNAP and disability and all this other stuff is wild. Like, no, they don't.
Can I respond to somebody?
Sure.
One Baker, we don't have a director of Canada Healthcare. Nice try making stuff up, just so you know. At least if you're gonna do something, do it correctly. Google is a simple search. You could have figured out that we don't have one of those. Like, oh my god. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Well, you know, there might be, and maybe I'm just whistling past the graveyard, but there just might be a salutary end of cutting all the Affordable Care Act subsidies, of the time bomb that is going to drop on America with the Medicaid cuts that are coming 2 weeks after the midterms. Hint, if it was such a good idea, why did the Republicans wait until after the midterms to drop the bomb? What the salutary thing could be is that we finally get a serious and open discussion with members of both parties to end all of this nonsense and to do what we should have done in 1947 when it was first proposed, universal health care or Medicare for all, whatever you want to call it.
It's a single payer healthcare system. So instead of us paying for a company to decide what we get, what they're willing to pay for, then it just to make profit off of our sickness, let's put it in a place that's job isn't to make profit. And they still have to negotiate with people. Like there still needs to be a negotiation with companies, because those companies, there are still companies out there that's job is to make profit. Now, again, we can have a whole different discussion on whether certain things should even, things like, you know, medication and stuff should be for profit in the way it is right now. But again, it's like, let's take a step in the right direction, people, and start fixing things. There's this idea that it's either all or nothing. We either fix every problem or we don't try anything. Well, not trying anything is how we got to this point. That's why we have a massive affordability crisis. It's why we've got tens of millions and probably more now of people that either have no health care or health care that might as well not exist because it does so little. It's why we've got hospitals and clinics shutting down all over the place. It's why we've got schools that are horrible, because we don't do anything to fix it. We sit here and we've decided that the way we were doing it is just the best, and it's so good we can't ever try anything different because different's scary.
Well, let's just take a look at the statistics that came out last week. And they only came out last week because you have to wait 3 months to find out who really is and is not in the Affordable Care Act. As a result of these cuts, between 26 and 30% of people have had to drop health care. 26 to 30%. That's an awful lot of people. And it's going to be significantly worse when you get into the Medicaid cuts. I know I keep repeating this, but it bears repeating. In the red states alone, 30% of the entire population, from infants to 105-year-olds, are on Medicaid. They're on Medicaid. And that's going to be cut 2 weeks after this election. They somehow think this is a good electoral strategy. It most assuredly isn't. Affordability is now the number one issue among the American voters of both parties. And what has moved to the top of the affordability is not the price of gas, is not even the price of groceries. It isn't your homeowner's insurance. It's health care. Because even if you have employer-based health care, you're one of the lucky ones who has that, your costs went up 26% this year. 26% in 1 year. If you're on the Affordable Care Act, it went up 125%. Now, that my source, since I know somebody's going to ask it, KFF, and by the way, HHS, the Department of Health and Human Services. Those are their statistics. So they're not in dispute.
I'm scared to death as to what the new premium's going to come in for our health insurance come June. I'm not looking forward to it.
This all just sounds incredibly sad.
It is sad.
Like it's incredibly sad. Like I genuinely can't understand it. Like I've never understood the American healthcare system. It's never made sense to me. I never understood why there wasn't universal healthcare, especially considering my whole life I had been taught that America was one of the greatest countries in the world. And I'm like, well, why don't they have healthcare then? And good education? Because those are like,
how do we get people to quit voting for destructive stuff? Unfortunately, it's not an easy answer to that. there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues regarding it that we've got to work through. We've got to get out of this. We've got to teach people empathy again, or more. I mean, we went backwards, but there's an argument that for whole groups of people, empathy didn't really exist still. We've got to teach empathy. We've got to bring back the idea of community. Just in general, we as a country, I mean, one of the things, and I truly believe it, one of the things that have hurt us as a society is the fact that we no longer have third spaces for anybody, especially the ones that don't cost an arm and a leg to be a part of. Like going to thoughts on the hentai. I am scared to death about that virus, and everyone should be. That thing has a 38% unaliving rate. That virus.
Do you know? Sorry, Scott.
Go ahead, Tiffany. I'll go after you.
I was gonna say, and it's ironic. I was just rewatching The Tudors, and I was watching the episodes about the sweating sickness going through England, and then this broke. The hantavirus thing all broke, and I was like, no, just no, because they suspect that whole multiple epidemics over, I think it was 75 years in 1500s in England. The best suspicion is that was actually a hantavirus that popped up multiple times. And I can't do another lockdown. I can't do another anything. Like, I genuinely don't understand how nobody learned anything from 6 years ago, because it was the Princess Ruby that was the super spreader event the first time around with COVID, when they docked the boat and let everybody off. And I was like, why are we letting people get off boats ill and get on airplanes?
I mean, the fact is they aren't with this one. They are only taking the people in special, that took the people that were already sick off to go get special care in the Netherlands. Everyone else who's on that boat is still on that boat.
23 people had already left prior to anybody dying. Yeah, so there's cases now in France, Switzerland.
Oh, good.
And there was another country that just announced KLM stewardess who was on the plane with the one lady who flew back to Johannesburg, who was ill. Her husband died as soon as she landed. She collapsed and died the very next day. The stewardess on that plane is now sick with hantavirus. Not to scare anybody. I have faith that the WHO is going to try everything within its.
Yeah, but that doesn't help us.
I know, sorry.
Since we left the WHO.
We'll find out. These things happen, and they don't always, folks. They don't always turn into a worldwide pandemic. So
No.
let's hold our horses before we get histrionic. But yes, this is a terrible thing. Getting back to, I wanted to address.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. You raised a very good question, Munan. I'm probably mispronouncing your title there. How do we get people to vote their self-interest again? That's a really interesting question that has been bothering political scientists for about the last 25 years. Traditionally in America, people vote what they perceive, whether correctly or incorrectly is another subject, they perceive to be their own self-interest. And that's the way democracy should work. You convince 51% of the people that your programs and policies will benefit them more than the other party. In the last quarter century, we've seen people voting instead against their own self-interest, primarily for the Republicans, but not exclusively, but primarily for the Republicans. We've seen this especially among working class voters who demonstrably are voting against their own self-interests. And we're going to see this with the healthcare crisis that's coming. And as you also pointed out in your second comment, that was really on target, we're going to be creating with these Medicaid cuts a healthcare desert in rural and ex-urban America. There is a long tail to these Medicaid cuts. It doesn't just affect the people who are going to lose their Medicaid. And this is a massive amount of the American people, a massive percentage of our total population. It's going to rob the best paying jobs in those rural counties, are all connected with the hospitals. All the people associated with that, insurance brokers, lawyers, IT people, landscapers, food service, you get the message.
Mhm.
And this is going to be horrific. This is going to be an absolute atom bomb dropped on rural and ex-urban America. It's going to affect a lot of jobs that go far beyond the people who are going to lose their coverage. I don't think I've ever seen a bill passed from Congress that deliberately, literally, backstabs the very people who put them in their jobs. So we'll see how loyal they remain to the party that effectively is destroying their lives.
And I think to an extent it comes down to the problem that we have of identity politics. And you know, the RNC and the DNC have done a lot of work to get that to exist. I mean, we got to remember, these are corporations. Their job is to get support. And you're seeing things change in the DNC. There's huge conversation going on where the DNC as a whole is struggling for funding, but but candidates are getting funded like crazy. Where the RNC, they've got tons of money, but they're not getting funding from people in their districts. Like most of the funding for a lot of these, for at least the ones that are in bigger campaigns, are not getting funding from their own districts. They're getting funding from PACs and the RNC itself.
Yeah, this will be the first election, the midterms, in about 15, 18 years where the Democrats don't have the most money. The Democrats have been way out fundraising the Republicans for quite some time now, mostly through PAC money. That's where the money's at now. However, I wouldn't make too big a deal over it because both parties are going to have plenty of money. And as we discovered to our regret in 2024, when Harris had $1.5 billion for a 107-day campaign, way outraised Donald Trump, tons more money than Donald Trump. What good did it do her? So, folks, money is important in politics, yes. But once you reach a certain amount, it becomes overkill. I mean, how many times can you run the same commercial? People aren't paying attention to commercials anyway. It's how you spend the money that's more valuable than the amount of money that you raise. And the other thing to remember is that we have to sort of leave this. This dates back to really the 20s, 30s, and 40s of the last century. The power of the DNC and the RNC is a fraction of what it once was. They aren't these all-powerful organizations. They largely do scheduling now. The real power lies in candidate organizations, and that's been true in the Republican Party since 1968 and the Democratic Party since 1972. The RNC and DNC just aren't that powerful. They just aren't. The real money and the real power lies in candidate organizations, not in the RNC and DNC, which have turned into basically scheduling groups. That's all they do is schedule elections, and they don't have much power after that.
And also, in the end, we need people. If we really want to make changes, and this is where it comes down to in the end. And I was looking at the numbers in Indiana and Ohio. There just aren't enough people voting in the primaries. There just aren't.
Yeah, and that's a real problem. And I'm going to kiss your ass now, which I rarely do, as you know. You've been talking about this for as long as I've known you. And that's the real election, folks. The stats just came out, and this comes from the Cook Political Report. How many districts out of 435 districts, that's how many we have for the House, 435 districts, how many are less than 10 point leaning towards one party or the other? In other words, if you're above 10 points, you're practically a shoo-in, although this year is going to be a little bit different. But in normal circumstances, you're practically a shoo-in. There's only 31 districts out of 435 that are 10 points or less. So there's only 31 competitive districts. That's disgusting in a democracy, and makes you wonder just how democratic are our House elections. Is that really a participatory democracy, or are we just, divided into two just about evenly divided camps? We've gerrymandered the shit out of everything so that everybody's got a lock in November, and the only election they have to worry about is their primary. And what do the American people do? They don't bother to vote in primaries. And then they complain about their choices in November.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And again, this is what, and I'm not even saying that the people that won in some of these districts that I was paying attention to are going to be bad people. I didn't have a chance to pay attention to everyone. What I do know is that when in an entire primary, only 25,000 people vote, or about 50 to 60,000, 70,000 people vote in an entire district, and that's when you're adding Republican and Democrat together. That's 10% of the people that live in that district. You take out all the people that can't vote, you're probably looking at 20%.
That's exactly right, Mike. And if you understand that 93% of our districts are not competitive, that is the election. The primary is the election that's going to choose your representative, and we have 10% of the people showing up. And now that's not good.
And here's the other thing, and I need us to think about it, and this is why it's so important. So I've talked with a lot of people who were running in primaries or are running in primaries, and they're saying that they're talking to people that are registered as Republicans but would vote for them. Now again, when it comes down to it, who knows? I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know exactly what's going to happen on anything. That being said, in primaries, those Republicans can't vote for a Democrat. They can only vote for a Republican. These people, this is the problem that we're dealing with. Because of the way it works, you have a lot of people in the Republican Party that are disenfranchised with their party, but they're not willing yet to not be, to say they're a Democrat. For whatever reason, they've always been a Republican. They still consider themselves conservative in certain ways that makes it feel like they should stay in the Republican Party, but they would want to vote for these people. Well, if these people don't get past their primaries, it doesn't matter what they want. It doesn't, and that literally is you have to hope that the person that did win is the same kind of person as the one they would have voted for. And this is like, we keep spinning around in the same circle where we keep saying, if you want new choices, you need to vote on new choices. So then what happens is, the ones that don't want new choices vote in primaries. The ones that want the status quo vote in primaries. And then a small percentage of other people that are trying to do the work also vote in primaries. Their person doesn't make it through. They get frustrated. They decide that their vote doesn't matter anymore. So they just don't get involved. That's still 10 to 15% of the country. Probably less, because you got people that voting for more for the other candidates are deciding who your choices are in everything.
Yeah, and if 92% of the House electorate is a given for November, that means 10% are choosing our Congress, not the 50% who show up in the midterms, 10% who show up in the primaries. They're basically choosing the Congress.
And if you vote and you don't vote for, and you don't vote down the line, you only vote for the federal positions because those are the only ones you paid attention to, you're screwing yourself too. This is the this is the frustrating part about doing this, especially knowing that what we're talking about is not like exciting. This is the stuff I know people need to hear and need to listen to. And
no, that's quite right. It's not a sexy conversation, that's for sure. Turnout in a primary election. But it's really even more important for the down ballot races, your state representatives and your state senators, for a very good reason. 90% of what the average voter deals with in his day-to-day or her day-to-day lives is with your state government. It's not with the federal government. It's with your state government, your state agencies. Think about it. When you go to the DMV, that's a state agency. That's not a federal government issue. And that's why it's so important to elect people, to get what you want at the state level, because in your day-to-day life, you're going to be dealing a whole lot more with state and local levels than you are with the federal government. You don't deal much with your congressperson. And unfortunately, state legislative elections have turned into slam dunks, even worse than the federal government. The federal government House elections are, again, over 90% slam dunks.
Mm-hmm.
November doesn't mean much. The primaries mean a lot. November doesn't mean that much because it's a foregone conclusion in 9 out of every 10 congressional districts. They're so damn gerrymandered now.
Yep. And if you don't know who your state representatives are, because for a long time I didn't either, we are part of the problem.
Yep.
Yeah. James Madison put it best when they did the Constitution. He said, yes, you have these rights and responsibilities, but he said at the end of the day, democracy depends on an informed citizenry. And if we're only having 10% of the people vote, that's not much of an informed citizenry. And if you don't know who your state representatives are, or worse yet, you don't care, that's not part of an informed citizenry. With our rights come responsibilities. Not to become a political junkie. Nobody's saying you have to do that, but at least be cognizant of what your state representatives are doing to represent your interests. Just be cognizant of it.
I mean, Silver, white men being scared to death of a lot of things are a huge reason we are in a lot of the issues that we're in. Just, there's a reason that I keep saying, there's a reason that I'm trying to raise the voices of so many amazing women that are running, which, by the way, if you haven't gone and watched it, please go watch the panel. These women just freaking, the women running right now are amazing. I can't say, what country am I from? The United States of America. What country are you from?
Canada over here.
If you haven't watched the panel, please go watch it and share it. I say this before, you will get this Canadian here would disagree with you.
I do disagree with you, although my province specifically is not in the best of shape, but that's because people here like to vote against their own best interests. But yeah, Matt, sorry, that's not a true statement everywhere in Canada. If you have a problem with your universal health care, please go talk to your MLA. They are the ones who are responsible for it. Tell them.
And by the way, Matt, here in the United States, 25% of the people to 30% of the people on the Affordable Care Act just lost their health insurance, with a lot more about to lose it under the Medicaid cuts that are coming in 2 weeks after the midterm elections. I would say that that is definitely a system that is not working.
I always find it interesting when some Canadians sit here complaining about their universal healthcare, and then it's always hilarious because they're like, the federal government, da 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 da. I'm like, the federal government is not responsible for your healthcare.
Well,
Your
and
province is. You
here's
don't
the
like it? Talk to them.
here's the other thing that so many people have come in and be like, oh, you know, you've got to wait for your health care. And in my mind, I'm just like, okay. Because someone came in and they're like, I had to wait 6 months for this gastric bypass surgery or something like that. Or I think that's what it was. I don't remember. And I was like, well, how much are you paying for that? Because probably a majority of the country, if they needed something like that, just wouldn't be able to get it at all.
Well, and the thing is, it's not as if you don't have to wait for stuff in the United States either. Like, let's be serious. Even in your healthcare system, even if you had private insurance through paid for yourself or company, you still have to wait. I know I've argued this with my mother because when we were small, like when I was like 2 or 3, we lived in Burbank, California. My sister was born in Burbank. And my mom, for the longest time, kept talking about how the American healthcare system is so much better than ours. And I'm like, yeah, if you happen to be lucky enough to have insurance, I'm sure it is. It may be better. But I'm like, that's not most people.
Or
So
if
I'm
you're
like, you
or if you're super rich and can go anywhere.
exactly. So I'm like, so for most people, it's not better. I'm like, could our healthcare system be improved? Absolutely. And I remember saying to her, I'm like, so vote better. If you don't like it, vote better. Like, vote better, because our healthcare system is determined by how our provinces choose to spend money on the healthcare system, or whether they even choose to spend money on the healthcare system. Hence why Alberta is, it's let's not even get me started. Let's just not get me started on it. But
Well,
Matt, you the
I
buck
think
stops at
I
your premier. It
I
does.
well,
see.
Taryn
Bye, Matt.
Bit in chat says that, and Lindsey Graham is still pushing for a $400 million ballroom. Unfortunately, I wish it was only $400 million.
Yeah, it's $1 billion now.
Apparently, the Republicans have added a rider to the reconciliation bill. You remember the ballroom that was going to be paid for by Donald Trump himself and his friends, and no taxpayer dollars at all? Wrong. $1 billion for a ballroom. For a ballroom.
Did anyone really?
After tearing down the East Wing with no permission from anybody. So I wish it was 400 million. It's $1 billion now.
Did anyone really think that Donald Trump was going to pay for that out of his pocket? Did anybody really believe that?
Very unintelligent people believe that. Yes.
I'm like, no, he never pays for anything out of his own pocket if he can help it. Like, that's watch his behavior. You know that.
Yeah, and so at the end of the day, we're paying for it anyway, and it's going to be $1 billion. Now, I don't know what the hell's in that ballroom that cost $1 billion. I've seen the architectural prints for it. It bears a striking resemblance to something that you would see at a Ramada Inn in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's hideous looking and bigger than the White House. That's nice. Yeah.
And Bryant, your dad is on universal health care and has never had an issue, which is the whole point. And in Canada during COVID, he would not have been out to the wolves. Like, you don't understand. We basically want Medicare, Medicaid for all. That's what we want.
Yeah, you want a universal healthcare system.
One system that covers all of them.
Yeah, right, AJ? Any architect I know is also laughing at the plans for the ballroom. It's hideous looking, rivaled only by his arch that he wants to build, that apparently is a whole lot bigger than the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, complete with golden gargoyles or something that he has spaced around it. I mean, it's beyond hideous.
Sorry, I can't help but laugh like that. But then again, look at all of the apartments and stuff that Trump's decorated. Are we really absolutely shocked that it looks as gaudy as it does? Is anybody surprised? And it
Not
costs
at
a
all.
billion because he's using gold in everything, like legit gold, unlike the rest of us who would use, paint. But
Did you guys probably haven't heard the new argument, and I didn't even hear it until all the trolls came in.
what?
So the $1 billion is not for the ballroom. The $1 billion is just for whatever they're building under the ballroom. The ballroom is still getting paid for by private funds.
Sure, it is.
Except they're not sure of that now.
I know.
Because there were pledges for it, just like there were pledges. Remember the multi-trillion-dollar pledges from the UAE to invest in America?
That they
and now
pulled
they
out
told
of?
us, well, on second thought, we're not going to invest 5 cents in America.
Mhm.
So
Everyone's pulling out. Yep. But yeah, I'm not saying I'm just telling you that that's the new way that they are trying to spin it to make it seem like it's okay.
So then what are they building underneath this ballroom then is my question, because generally when you're using government funds to pay for stuff, usually there is some sort of accountability within
Well,
built within the funding that you have to actually, I don't know, account for what you spent.
he's
Maybe it's
probably-
just
yeah,
the,
well, Tiffany, before you tear down the East Wing, you're supposed to ask permission to do that too, and
True
no
story.
permission was asked.
and have an actual plan
what I
that's
could not
approved.
then again, you're not supposed to, like, I don't know, pour concrete over Jackie's Kennedy's rose garden either, but
But that's different, actually. That part's different. That's not actually changing the White House. The White House
true.
is different in terms of our laws. The grounds, I mean, yeah, that's considered cosmetic. That's actually okay. He can do those. Now, should he? That's a different story. But
True story. But still, like, well, then again, look, there's gold
they're making
placard
the
signs
Chamber
all
of
over the White House.
Secrets. Yes, they're making the Chamber of Secrets.
I think so. Well, it does make sense. But look, there's gold placards everywhere, like announcing each room. Like it.
And Tiffany, you had said they were real gold. I don't even think he's using real gold. It's not even real gold. It's some fake faux gold that looks it. I mean, take a look at the Oval Office. That looks like a cheap New Orleans whorehouse. It's horrible looking.
Universal healthcare is absolutely cheaper than what we pay. Because again, you don't seem to understand how much almost all of us actually get subsidized in our private insurance. If you look at most businesses, how much they pay towards your insurance, most of you would probably jaw drop.
I you know what, and this is just totally tinfoil hat speculation. It makes me wonder, given the price of the ballroom and the fact that you're right, he's probably using hideous gold paint, not even quality stuff. I wonder if he's saying he's using gold and then putting it in his secret bunker, all the bricks of gold that he bought.
I'll tell you where his secret bunker is. It's in the Cayman Islands. That's where his secret bunker is. It's a bunker full of cash.
I want to say this real quick before I forget. Just so you guys know, I am trying to raise money to go visit people. I've already raised. Technically, I've started planning and paying for it, even though I didn't raise it, but I want to do it. I'm going to Virginia, DC to give the middle finger at the White House and the Supreme Court for die, and New York to interview candidates that are running for office where they are. I'm going to talk to constituents. I'm going to talk to the people that are volunteering. I'm going to learn more about them in where they are as opposed to just online, which sometimes it's much easier to be like spending a day with them. You're more likely to see who they are than than just 45 minutes on a call. So I'm doing what I'm calling a progressive fundraiser. The more I raise, the more trips I'm going to take. So if you have the ability to give towards it, there is a G Fund M. I don't know what I can say or not. There's a link over on the tube, or if you're in the Discord, there's a link there, or there's a link in the bio for it. And for everyone today, because I'm going to go a little longer today than normal because the wife is gone, and I want to try and make it so I can go the fund of go. Thank you. For every $10 donation to it, you can ask me a question that I must answer. Obviously, if it's something that it could get me taken down, I won't. But in terms of just a general, universal healthcare is cheaper. Is 100% cheaper. Is 1,000% cheaper. So I do have it up. So if I see someone gave, I will. Oh wait, someone did. How did I miss that? Who gave?
Ms. Pepper, you want to back up where you say we saw death squads after 2020? You want to back that up? I don't know what you're even talking about.
Cheaper for you, for everyone. Truth, cheaper doesn't mean better. It would be better too, because right now there are tens of millions that get no coverage. CDC, FDA, DEA, REMS, EHR. Are we just what?
We just listing federal.
How is the CDC, the FDA, and all the other acronyms you just named equal death squads? Do you want to explain that to me? Or do you want to just make ignorant statements?
I'm going to go with the latter.
It's not tens of millions. The last ASA showed 8% didn't have healthcare. How many people do you believe live in the United States of America? You understand that 10% of the United States is 32 million people, right? And that number has gone up after the subsidies were taken out.
25 to 30% of the people on the ACA have lost their health insurance since the cuts announced in April. And that's the government's own statistics.
Hey, Gen X. Every report shows universal healthcare is 100% better by every metric. Correct. They didn't lose their health insurance. They stopped paying. Because they couldn't afford it. Why do you think people lose their health care? Holy crap.
Wow.
They didn't
Yeah, they just
lose
decided they didn't want health care anymore.
Just decided they didn't want it. Had nothing to do with the fact that they couldn't afford it.
The average cost increase under the ACA was 125%. Source, unlike you, I have sources. The Kaiser Family Foundation, and they're the Bible of healthcare in the United States. 125% increase, average. In New Jersey, by the way, it was 150%. But 125% increase. That's why they don't have their health care. Jesus Christ.
Because
People
it was
don't read.
subsidized 75% over cost.
Oh my God. Oh
Listen
my God.
to me. I need everyone to listen. There are multiple reasons why healthcare is expensive. Not least of which being that we are paying a middleman to decide what healthcare we get, whose job is not our health, but to make money. The reason the ACA subsidized so much is because that was the only way people could afford it. If you get private healthcare, you get subsidized too.
Mike, I just sent you a donation.
You don't, thank you.
Sorry, it's in Canadian dollars.
That's fine. Name one country where it works. Well, we've got someone in Canada that says it works.
It works if the provincial governments fund it properly. And if for a lot of people who are complaining in Canada that it's not working very well, it's because our provincial governments, and as somebody who lives in Alberta, I can attest to my whole life being cuts to the healthcare system. It stops working when they stop funding it, because that's kind of how it works. Now, other provinces, as you can see, Canadians in the comments, other provinces have wonderful healthcare. So it depends on the government you happen to vote in, which is why I agree with Mike and Scott here. Make sure you vote for, in Canada, your provincial government, and in the United States, your state, because that is who influences most of the things that affect you in your daily life.
And again,
Period.
And again, I'm going to say this more broadly because I feel like we need to go there again. If your goal is perfection, so if you're sitting here saying we need to make the Canadian, I'm not sitting here saying we need to make a universal healthcare that works exactly like Canada or England or the EU or any other country. I'm saying our system doesn't work. And just sitting here and saying, well, the reason it's not working is because people are lazy or whatever dumb reasons that people are giving, and just saying the others don't work, when we've literally got tens of millions of people that are not covered, and we've got even more that have coverage that are still not going and getting help because of things like high deductibles and their insurance companies denying health care.
Co-pays under the bronze plan.
What about
again,
stop having children you can't afford? You're all for the abortion, right? Oh
Okay.
my God, you are done.
Well, they talked about MAID too, and I guarantee they don't even know what that is. Like, give me a break. Like,
At any rate, deductibles on the bronze plans of the ACA have gone from hundreds to an average of $10,000 apiece for people between the ages of 60 and 65. That's a $10,000 deductible on top of your premiums, which increased an average of over $1,000 per month. That's an increase, not what your cost is. That's an increase of $1,000 a month.
No, Paul, we're not an echo chamber. There are just certain topics and things that we do not do. Everyone in here must align with the fundamentals if you want to be able to continue to be part of the conversation. If you can't align with the fundamentals, then we have nothing to talk about. You feel free to go somewhere else, but that's not what we do here. Hey, Di.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, look at that.
Thank you, Patty.
Love it, love it. It's been a
I'm
rough
still-
week. I just want to put that out there. I know it's Thursday, but I'm just acknowledging that.
oh yeah, it's been a really long week. Really long week. So I still have a question, Mike.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how to formulate my question so that I can get you to make the statement I want you to make. You know what statement I want you
I
to
have
make.
a feeling I do.
Yeah, I'm sorry she's not here to hear it, but we will all witness it. I would like Mike to say that Kia.
No, that's not
is
a
right.
question.
So I'm trying to figure out. Scott and Attorney Di, can you help me figure out how to word the question?
No.
Which member of the community is always right?
Mm.
Which member of the community is always right?
No
Besides
one.
me. Besides me.
No one. No member of the community is always right.
Well, which hand does she write with?
I have no idea. So are you the poor people that want everybody to pay? What?
Oh, Jesus Christ. They're coming out of the woodwork now.
Bobby, I think that's a bit rude, right?
Not to mention the fact that we all pay for everybody. That's how insurance works.
Exactly.
That's how society works. Like, when did we come to the point where we no longer cared if all of us, had I don't know, basics to live. Like, and healthcare is included in that. Like, what is going on in the world?
Did you see the video, the interview where they were talking about how birth number of births in this country was down dramatically because women from the age like teens are having less kids and how that's a big problem? And I'm like, you think having less teens having children is the problem?
I saw that. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Like, when did it become a good thing for teen pregnancy? Like, what? Like, no, I'm not here to shame any moms who did become moms
No.
as teens, but like, objectively, I think all of us can agree, it's not necessarily the best situation to find yourself in. And that is not like, oh my God. And my whole entire existence as a millennial was me being taught that the world was overpopulated. We had too many people around the planet. Too many people. And so I don't understand where we're headed now. And no, they are not unaliving their citizens. Please tell everybody that you know nothing about MAID without saying it. Like, give me a break.
Mm.
And by the way, I still get the biggest kick out of the death panels comment. I mean,
Oh
I
my
thought that went out in 2016, but or 2012.
Bring it back.
You know, that's so far out there in la la land. It doesn't even deserve commentary. There are no death panels.
One more thing too about the young teenage women, females who are getting pregnant or wanting them to get pregnant. It's like, well, not if they're working for someone in Congress and they accidentally get pregnant. What happens then? I think we all know. So I think it has to be a specific group of people, possibly the same group of people that are okay with child marriage. And that's just very disturbing.
I think Tony Gonzalez would have something to say about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yup. What is Zoe talking about?
Zoe? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay. Sorry.
It's fine. It's possible
Like-
she wrote something else and it got
Filtered. Well, because it's interesting to see so many people coming in to say Canada healthcare is terrible, and then the next thing they talk about is the MAID program. Like,
Oh my.
I genuinely don't understand. Like, none of them know what MAID is. I'm not an expert in it, so I'm hesitant to say anything about it. But all of the healthcare professionals I've talked to think it's a good program. It has been very helpful
And again,
for those who needed it.
is it perfect? Probably not.
No, nothing is.
Why do we not have the ability to try and make things better without the need for the only choice is to make it perfect? Like let's learn. I'm perfectly fine with us saying, okay, let's take a look at every universal healthcare system out there. What isn't working? What is working? Why isn't it working? What could they have done better to fix some of the problems? Like, we're just not doing any of that. We're just saying no because it hasn't worked anywhere. And it's like, no, it's worked. It's worked. Not only does it make people be able to go get jobs anywhere, because it doesn't align healthcare with employment, it allows for more small business growth, because one of the biggest things preventing small businesses from growing and actually being able to like thrive is the fact that either healthcare is insanely expensive, which means the people that come and work for you can't get it, or you're spending all of your extra money to help make healthcare available for the people that work for you if you're a small business. And we're not friggin' paying a middleman. Let's make healthcare a friggin' right and not a commodity.
Yeah, I mean, healthcare, the profit for the insurance companies is anywhere between 15 and 20%. What is the cost? And there's transaction costs in running Medicare, which is a national program. And what are those transactions cost? About 1%. So you're saving 15 to 19% right off Jump Street by going to a universal healthcare plan. And there's downstream effects, which is one of which Mike just mentioned. It gives you job portability. It allows workers. How many of us have had jobs in our lifetimes that we really didn't like, but we had to stay there because of the health insurance? Well, now you wouldn't have to worry about that. And
Or
thirdly,
relationships, lest we forget, in certain relationships, you can have the insurance.
yeah, and thirdly, it gives if you had a pool of 330 million people in your national health care plan, imagine the discounts that you could negotiate not only with hospitals, but most importantly with the pharmaceutical companies. Things would become significantly cheaper.
Mm-hmm. People are asking if you're feeling okay, Di.
I'm okay. I had a rough night last night, but the only way to get past this is just to get up, pretend it didn't happen, and go forward.
I realize that I have to be more exciting because
What?
don't you remember Monday?
Oh my gosh, I fell asleep. Oh my gosh, my whole family. They're like, "Why are you doing all these panels?" And I'm like, "Well, dude, you got to share the knowledge." And then I was like, "But I fell asleep on one of them." And my kids, both of them at the same time. One is 17, one's 21. And they're like, "Did you snore? Because your snoring's like a bear." It was like,
I had to
"No,
mute
let's
her.
pretend it didn't happen."
It took us all a second. We're like, wait a second, what is that? What's going on?
That's never happened to me before. I was just like, okay, we're safe. Let's go to sleep.
Oh man, I missed it.
No, that's all right.
I loved it. I mean, I loved having you up there. That's the longest that you've been able to be up, and I thought it was great. We were able to talk a lot more, which was awesome.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm very thankful for this space. I think it's a great direction to go in. So I'm happy to be here. And apparently, it's a sleepover every Monday morning.
There are a lot of people that come on and say one of the things they like about it is they feel safe in a way that they don't even on other lives, which is what I want. And we need to be able to have these kind of conversations. But again, we also need to have a line. And that's what I keep telling people. Like, if you are getting muted, it's because either you pass the line for whatever reason, and if we think you don't have that line at all, you just don't get to be involved at all. These are not easy conversations. None of these are easy.
Trucker asks a very good question that I don't know the answer to. He asks, he's curious, do the Canadian doctors have to carry malpractice insurance like American doctors do? Honestly,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
That's a
they
good
do.
one.
I can
Okay,
answer that.
now I do know.
That being said, how things work in our system are slightly different, but yeah, just like the States, I doubt the premiums are quite the same, but yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. In the end, even if our doctors here had to keep the insurance, which obviously makes life more expensive to be a doctor, I don't mind paying doctors for the amount of work they have done to become doctors. And if you're a good doctor, be protected, all of that stuff. When the reality is what is it, 40% of all of the expenses for healthcare right now are an administrative. Can you imagine if we could take 40% and put it back into the people's pockets?
Or even some of that.
or even some of it.
You don't have to take 40%. Imagine if we could just chop 20, if we could just chop that administrative cost in half. We already know that would be able to run a national healthcare system at about 1% of premium, as opposed to the profit margin insurance companies make now of 15 to 20% of premium. We've already proven that with Medicare. So that's a huge savings right off Jump Street. You wouldn't have rural hospitals closing. You wouldn't have the urgent care centers closing. You would protect those jobs in rural counties. I mean, the downstream effects of this are immense. It's not just about the health care that individuals would be getting, although obviously that's the primary consideration. It's also the downstream effects that you would have. You would have job portability. How wouldn't it be great to negotiate with any employer you wanted, because you know you don't have to stay in a job you hate anymore because you've got your health insurance one way or the other.
Especially if you have a
I mean, there's just so many
condition.
upsides to it.
Especially if you have a pre-existing condition already.
Sure.
That's the biggest one. Like for our family, I have Parkinson's.
Mhm.
Who wants to go? Why would we want to chance ripping up our lives potentially, depending on where, especially if it involved moving, to get another job and go through a time period potentially without, because there's still a lot of companies that are like, you got to work 3 months before you get healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be paying Cobra for 3 months.
Oh
which
my gosh.
would be wild.
I hate
Vicky,
Cobra. I hate him.
Yeah, Bonnie.
What is that?
Good point.
Cobra, it's basically you can keep your current health care, but you have to pay for your employer's part as well. So whatever percentage the employer is paying of your health care while you're working there, you would need to pay all of it.
Okay, that makes sense. At least understandably, but
And then
I don't agree with it.
the debt begins, right? I mean, then you start stacking your debt.
Yep.
And trying to pay for it with a credit card with huge costs. And you can't ever get out from under it. Honestly, it takes years.
Yeah, speaking of that, whatever happened to Trump's edict that credit card companies couldn't charge more than 10% interest?
Shocker.
Oh,
Nothing
what happened to that?
Ooh,
That got sent down the memory hole, didn't it?
it did.
Did you hear why Project or Operation Freedom ended? Even though Trump is trying to say that it was because the peace plan, the peace talks were going so well.
Yeah, another instance of market manipulation, but go ahead.
No, that. It turns out Trump didn't talk to all of the allies in the area, and Saudi Arabia said that they couldn't use their airspace for Operation Freedom to work. So, and they tried, I guess Trump or his administration tried to call them and talked with the Crown Prince to try and get it to happen, but they didn't come to an agreement, whatever it was. So they had to end Operation Freedom.
And it was working so swimmingly. We got 2 ships through that were shot at the whole time.
And 2 that didn't, that were actually near destroyed, if not destroyed.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so awful.
Yeah, but those negotiations are going well. Somebody ought to clue in the Iranians that we're having negotiations with them, because they don't seem to know it.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. Like every time and I want you all to do it because I fall into it too. When you read, notice that it's not ever the negotiators in Pakistan. It's not ever anyone in Iran. It's not ever Kia. It's not ever anyone. It's always the Trump administration that says, oh, well, we're making good progress. Oh, we're getting close. Oh, we're doing this. Like, they're just lying.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering too, I've got so many things I want to do, but Instead, I find myself falling asleep on different people's discussion parts here on live. So, since I checked that box for this week, I would say one of the things that really is frustrating is to not be able to make it through all of these executive orders. And it's hard to make it through because they're not legal.
Mhm.
And that's like really, really a thing here. We're looking, 325 executive orders. I've gone through 15, and then I needed to get a frosty beverage. But after that, it's like you can't, they're not even writing it in a way that's appropriate.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and the going back to Mike's point, the Iranian lead negotiator said that
Mhm.
the Trump administration proposal is, and I quote, a list of American wishes. That doesn't sound like much of a promising negotiation, if you ask me.
My gosh. Here's the wish list. Can you put us back to before and sorry? So that's like it,
And it's not
Just re-
going to. That's the part that I think I heard that the UK, no, not the UK, France, the Charles de Gaulle, and I think some ships from Australia are heading over to the Strait to deal with something having to do with post opening. I don't know. Here's the problem, and this is the part that nobody seems to get, and this is why nobody ever did anything this stupid. The amount of money the world would have to spend to force the Strait open would be exorbitant. There's a reason that nobody ever did anything this stupid, because just the fear of what could happen is going to keep it closed.
Look, since the Iranian Revolution in 1979, every single American president has received, and they've wargamed out plans to attack Iran. That's what war games are all about. That's what the Pentagon should be doing. There is a reason why none of them have followed through, because the first thing that was listed in the war plans was that Iran would close the Straits of Hormuz, and that made it untenable until, of course, you had a guy who didn't believe it. And now he does believe it. And he'll probably blame Biden for it or something.
He already has.
Maybe Hillary's emails or maybe Obama. Who knows? I'm surprised he hasn't
Those
blamed
brown
Harry.
pants.
I'm surprised he hasn't blamed Harry Truman
Tan
yet.
suit.
But
He might. There's still
yeah,
time left.
look, there's a reason that they
It's true.
didn't do it, is because it doesn't work practically. Iran has at its disposal, due to its geography, various asymmetric warfare options open to them, one of which, and the most powerful of which, is closing the Straits of Hormuz. So where does that leave us? That leaves us that when this war ends, and it will end, when the war ends, Iran now has a power that's even greater than nuclear power. They have the power, a choke collar around the Straits of Hormuz that they can yank any damn time they feel like it. And that makes them much more powerful than they were before the war. Congratulations. This really worked out swimmingly, didn't it?
Did you see the report from the WP that got the all of the images that this administration has been trying to prevent from being released? The satellite images.
I looked at them all, and they lied about what has been destroyed. They also lied, or perhaps were simply mistaken. I shouldn't use the pejorative there. They said that they had wiped out in the first week. You'll recall Pete Hegseth constantly using the figure of 90% of Iran's ballistic and drone capabilities. Turns out the real number is below 50%.
Oh my
So
gosh.
they have plenty to do more damage,
Oh my goodness.
which they have done.
For everyone new here, just so you know, this podcast was created to have conversations. I love when we get Scott and Di and Tiffany and so many other really just amazingly knowledgeable people. That is the purpose of this. I also interview candidates every day. Literally every day I am posting an interview with a candidate over on the tube of you. If you're interested in helping get these people visibility and name recognition so we can actually make change, please go over there and follow and watch them. I also posted a video, gosh, how many days ago was it now? 3 days ago? 2 days ago? 2 days ago,
Maybe
Monday.
last year, maybe.
3 days ago, Monday. It was Monday with, well, I also posted a video with Di too that you should watch. If you're interested, we did a two-parter where we looked at all 26 of the grievances of the Declaration of Independence and compared to what's going on right now. You should definitely go watch those. But on Monday, I also released a video with a panel of women, 4 women that are all running for Congress. And if you want to feel hope about the possibility of what this country could look like, especially not just women running things, but the women that are running for Congress running things right now, you should go watch it and share it because it gives you hope. It really does.
Those ladies were on fire. They were so good.
They're so good. And also, real quick, last thing. One of the other things I want to do is go visit some of these people that are running for Congress, where they are at, and kind of spend a day with them and really kind of get an idea of who they are more than just in a 30-minute interview. So I'm doing a progressive fundraiser. To the more money I'm able to bring in, the more places I'm going to visit. Right now, I'm finishing up raising to go to Virginia and New York, and I'm going to stop in on DC and give the middle finger to Supreme Court for Di and to the White House. But I want to go, like, there's someone who's running in for Senate in Montana that I would love. I think if she can get in there, like, she would go wild. But there's people running in Texas and Oklahoma and California and Colorado and Iowa and Idaho. I would love it. And here's the crazy thing. I've got over 100,000 followers over on TikTok. If I can get even a fraction of them, you all, to give $5, I would fund everything that I want to do. Everything. It would literally fund everything that I want to do, not just traveling, but doing this even more. So now we can continue talking about all the craziness that's going on in the world.
Laura made a very good comment in chat. She said that's why she goes to Al Jazeera, to try and find out what's really happening as opposed to what's being put out by the Trump administration. What a sad commentary on the American state of affairs right now, that we have to go trust foreign news sources because we can't get the correct information from our own. What a sad commentary that is.
I feel the same way. It's just ridiculous. Like, this isn't just about propaganda. It's about our, legacy media. Like, what are they even doing? I feel like I can't, Scott, I'm like with you. I feel like I can't trust a website that's from the White House. Like, are these stats okay? Is this information okay? I'm just not sure anymore because I can't trust them.
It's exactly right, Di. It's a very sad state of affairs when our first inclination to even the most mundane announcements out of the White House are, I wonder if this is true.
Yeah. Well, and
that's our first inclination with anything they say. If they said that today was Thursday, I would say, well, let me look at my calendar. Is it Thursday?
Yep. And it's even a step further, though, right? Because it is so bad. Our ability to trust any information that this administration gives us is so bad that there's a part of us that is willing to consider believing Iran over our own government.
Oh, I totally believe Iran over your government. Like,
I don't
as a
trust
Canadian,
either of them.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I believe everything they say because theirs is spun with propaganda too, but I suspect theirs is closer to the truth than anything coming out of the White House.
And in this specific situation, that is shown to be true. And that's the crazy part.
You have, it's not only that, they can't even get their stories straight. It's not that they're liars, it's that they're particularly bad liars. You have Secretary Hegseth
They
saying
are.
Operation Epic Fury is going exactly as we planned. And you have Secretary Rubio saying, well, Operation Fury ended a while ago. We're done with Operation Fury. Well, which is it? Which is it? And this was said on the same day. One by the Secretary of Defense or War, whatever he wants to call himself this week, and the other by the Secretary of State. Now, who the hell ever heard of anything so incompetent as that? And this is on a goddamn daily basis.
Yeah. And what almost makes it worse is there's one thing that I have learned, and again, maybe my understanding of how things work in the real world, it just maybe I'm off in this specific situation. I've always understood that a ceasefire means there's a cessation of firing. Now we have lawyers here, so my that's the first question that I've got. A ceasefire, is my understanding correct that a ceasefire means a cessation of fire?
A ceasefire means no kinetic action. And under international law and American law, by the way, a blockade is an act of war.
The
So
reason
we're blockading. So the war, by definition, by our own definitions, the war has not ended because we're engaged in a blockade, which is an act of war.
The reason I ask because we supposedly have a ceasefire between that I country and that country that starts with a G. We supposedly have a ceasefire between that I country and that country and Lebanon. We supposedly have a ceasefire between the United States and Iran. And the one thing that I keep seeing again and again and again is fire coming from both of these countries, and yet supposedly the ceasefire is still in place.
Well, it's a ceasefire by name only. You can call it whatever you want. Under international law, the war is still continuing because there's a blockade. There's your answer. Di, would you disagree or
I
agree with
agree.
me?
No, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
That's a simple matter of definition. That's not in dispute that a blockade is an act of war. For instance, that bothered President Kennedy very much, and he went ahead with it during the Cuban Missile Crisis when he announced the blockade of Cuba.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knew full well that that was an act of war against the Soviet Union.
Does anyone else have this little pop-up that says share responsibly on live, confirm
Yeah.
sources?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone, my guess is what's the word? Complained and said we were sharing, because there is a misinformation reporting thing. That is my guess as to what.
Oh, isn't that sweet of someone? That's so nice of them.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not information what the definition of a blockade is under international law.
So, and I want to say this is why I'm over on the tube. And actually, I would love it if all of you came over there and we just talked over there, because this app is making it,
Awful.
yeah, it's making it impossible for us to have these kind of conversations. I remember going into Lewis's live, and there was one day that where there were like what, 3, 4, 5 reports in one live.
And there were 4 of them before 7:30, a half hour into the live. It wasn't reports. It was you're harassing and bullying, and he said nothing. He was talking about and Mama Bear was talking about her own experiences, not referring to anybody, not referring to, just saying, "Oh, I had this happen to me." She's bullying herself. Okay.
Yeah. Or bullying when you're muted. Like, what? I didn't even say anything. It's hard to get traction though over on the tube. I look every single day. I try to do it, but just can't seem to get a foothold in there.
Which is why I keep going live on both.
Mhm.
I just think if this is one of those situations where we need people to start. If you really care about having these conversations, you need to. We got to get off this. We've got to get off of this app.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, it's
we're,
ridiculous.
we're all aware of who owns this app, and we're all aware of why this is happening. And I'll leave it at that.
because I
And
can guarantee you, if every time I went live, I had even 50 or 60 people over on the tube, I would just stay over there. The only reason I keep doing over here is because pretty much in general, to be fair, I did find you, and I appreciate that. I understand that. Again, it's one of the reasons that I keep going live here is because I'm still getting people. The key is trying to push people from here over to there, because I guarantee 50% of everything you guys are saying is probably getting filtered and not by anything that I put in place.
Absolutely. The only little boost I ever found, I know you go on both at the same time, but I don't know how to do that. I'm Gen X. It makes me get like a rash.
You need a
So
computer that can handle it.
no, I've already had people telling me about this like studio stuff. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, with that, I need to do that. But I think a lot of stuff is getting filtered out. And not only that, but I feel too over on the tube like their system of checks in there is more accurate too, which is better. And then of course there's a heck of a lot more money to be made over there. One of the things with the new terms and conditions with this app is like, okay, no more. That's all over. That drives me crazy. But mostly I'm tired of saying all the words.
Yep.
I'm tired of Mr. Orange. I'm tired of unalived. Like I just want to speak like a normal adult person.
Well, not only that, Di, there's people on this app who say all the words that we're not supposed to say, and I don't see anything happening to them. And yet we have to speak like third grade children. You know, Adolf from that country in the middle of Europe, he was the mean one. You know, we have to speak like children.
You could get
and
a
he
flag
was
for that.
unalived from a pew. Oh, for Christ's sake!
And the boom booms.
And what's interesting also is, so it can even go up a step. So for some people, they have to still be careful for monetization purposes. Like you can't show blood, you can't show a lot of things, or you will get demonetized. So that's what the membership side of things is for. Like you see a lot of people go into the membership because you can say a lot more under as a as long as it's paywalled, because then you're choosing you're understanding what you're getting into at that point. It's so complicated and convoluted and everything else. I mean, it's
computer stuff. I don't know that. Like I have a computer, but like, what? What's happening?
Oh, Di, you can't be nearly as bad as me. Before I came on here, I had a moment of unbelievable panic because my mouse stopped working, and I changed the batteries, and it still just had the I don't know what icon it is. It wouldn't move up and down. You know, the mouse wouldn't work. So I quickly grabbed my mouse from my laptop, and it has that little thing, and then I had to search on my computer where you plug in the thing for the wireless mouse. So now I'm cursing and kicking at things. I can't figure that out. Finally got that working. Went on Amazon, ordered another mouse, so hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. And I don't know how to. And Mike's saying, well, go in my bio and you can click to I'm sitting there. You might as well be speaking Swahili. I don't know how to do that shit.
I think it is Swahili. What are you doing speaking Swahili to us, Mike?
Yeah, go to the link in my bio. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean.
By the periodical chart.
If you go to the section where all my videos are.
Yes. Can I do it on YouTube?
Yeah.
On the tube of you, excuse me, we have to speak like third graders here.
I actually link it. I actually pin it when I'm live. It's pinned. It's literally right there. You just click on it and you're good to go.
That's how I went and donated to Mike. I went into his bio and
congratulations, aren't you good? I don't know how to do that.
It's a millennial thing. We're awesome.
The millennials know everything. We know that. We just don't tell them that.
No, we've been trolled like our whole entire existence. All 44 years of mine. I've been trolled the whole time about
Okay,
everything.
congratulations, millennial. Now, Mike, getting back to
Woohoo!
how I do this, okay?
Yay! I got someone to give the
I
millennial generation a
can't wait until we
congratulations.
invade you,
Yes!
maple syrup loving. We're coming. We're coming for you.
I miss
Tiffany.
maple syrup.
As soon as we get done losing this war, we'll go lose another war to Canada. We don't have a good track record there either.
We can help
you-
you fix the White House, just like we
Oh,
did in
dear.
1812. It'll be fine. We got you.
Goodness.
We got you.
hey, there's a plus side to that. At least he won't have to tear it down this time. You guys will
Oh,
come
my
and burn it down
goodness.
again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Oh,
Bring the maple syrup though. I can't afford it because of the tariffs.
No,
Oh,
go
I'll
to
bring a whole bucket
Costco.
load.
You get really good stuff. It's only $16 a barrel, a bottle, and it's
Yep.
the really good
We'll
maple
help
syrup.
decorate.
Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We'll come help redecorate. We'll
Yeah,
tear
you
down
know
all
what?
that tacky gold.
Trump would actually like that. Then he could build an amusement park or a casino there, like he'd really like to do.
Oh my God.
Welcome to your White House and casino.
Oh my goodness.
Where
Well,
we
it's
do
kind of.
WWE main events on the front lawn.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. What better way? I've been looking forward to our 250th anniversary, which, by the way, is the very first thing I thought of on election night, 2024. I
Mhm.
said, this
Yeah.
son of a bitch is going to be in charge of our 250th anniversary now. So
You
I
know there's
can't
going to
wait.
be a main event on the front lawn. You know it.
I can't think of any better way
You know
to
what he's doing.
celebrate
You know,
celebrate our nation's history than to have a cage match on the
Yeah.
East Lawn.
he's
That'd be wonderful.
literally an MMA match on the East Lawn. What the actual?
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. I think it's it really spells America to me. To have a cage match on the White
Gladiator
House East
Fridays.
Lawn.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
Scott-
hilarious. I'm
Scott,
sorry.
how many
I
fingers
shouldn't
do
be
you
laughing.
see? How many fingers are up right now, Scott? I'm just making sure.
I see 3.
Okay, all right. So Scott's
just-
gone crazy. I just want you to know that there were only 2 fingers.
Oh, well, I've been crazy for a long time, Di, so there's nothing new about that.
Welcome aboard.
Same
Um,
here.
How do you justify the long waits for elective care under? There's long waits in all care.
Yeah,
in the United States as well.
And how do you justify the long waits? It's called provincial governments that have been voted in not funding healthcare properly in the province.
And
that's how it works.
And you still need to have enough doctors and nurses and everything else. There's
Well-
still a supply and demand with everything.
Absolutely. And Canada's increasing its nurses and doctors as we speak because they are unfortunately leaving the United States to
Yeah.
come here on fast track
Mhm.
visas and stuff.
And by the way, Denali, you win the award for the best comment of the day. He says you might as well have a monster truck rally on July 4th. Absolutely.
Yes.
On the East Lawn, you have a monster truck rally, and then you put the cage match under the North Portico if it's still left standing, if Trump doesn't tear it down by then.
I think
That'd
somebody
be
should
a
send
great
that
way
in
to
as a
celebrate our
suggestion.
nation's 250th.
Send it in as a suggestion. Trump will probably do it.
You never know. What happened to the Rose Garden? Did it get cemented over?
Oh,
I got
Yeah,
sad and I
it
couldn't
really
watch.
looks classy now, Di. He cemented over Jackie Kennedy's Rose Garden, and it's adorned with cheap Walmart indoor-outdoor furniture. Really looks classy. Looks as
Oh, I
classy
love
as you would imagine it to look.
Ah, my goodness.
It's terrible. Like as soon as I saw pictures of it being like cemented over, I was like, why did he put a parking lot where there was a rose garden? And somebody said it's not a parking lot. It's like the outdoor patio. I was like, it looks like a parking lot, and it looks like somebody just put pop-up tables on the parking lot, like they're about to have a I don't know, a backyard barbecue or something. Like I'm like,
Jello
what is going
wrestling.
on?
Yes.
Jello
Jello
wrestling.
wrestling
Yes.
in the Rose Garden. Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh my
We are
gosh.
We are planning the absolute best 250th anniversary.
Do I think someone will bring the Rose Garden back? Yes. I think
Oh, of
Someday.
course.
assuming this is all. There's a lot of assumptions. Obviously, I believe that especially if a Democrat wins the presidency in 2028, they will remove anything that has any association with this man from everywhere humanly possible.
You can be certain that the name of the Kennedy Center will revert back to being just the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
And I would pay any amount in increase in taxes to tear down that hideous ballroom and put back the East Wing, and to
Arc
tear
de
down,
Triomphe.
if it's ever built, that grotesque arch that is
Ugh.
going to block the view, which is a classic Washington, D.C. view. If you've ever seen it, you have been moved by it, of Arlington National Cemetery, direct view to the Lincoln Memorial. That is now going to be blocked by a 250-foot arch. Going to be
I've-
blocked.
I've never even heard of this arch. Now, after this live, I have to go Google what this arch thing
Wait
is.
till he's released the
It's-
plans for it. Wait
it's
till you see how
basically-
hideous it looks.
It's basically an Arc de Triomphe
Mm-hmm.
that he wants
Wannabe.
that he wants to put in this. There's a, I don't know what the area is, but there's an area in DC that's like a big open, it's like a roundabout, but there's a big open thing of grass in the center, and he wants to put it there.
What?
Yeah, a couple of things. Number one, the Arc de Triomphe is 163 feet tall. This one's going to be 250 feet tall. Why? Well, because of course it has to be bigger. And there is a reason that piece of property on the Rotary or roundabout, however you want to call it, in New Jersey we would call it a traffic circle. There's a reason that land is not built on. It is specifically to allow the visage. When you're coming from the Lincoln Memorial across the Memorial Bridge, you see Arlington National Cemetery. When you are coming from Virginia over the Memorial Bridge, you see the Lincoln Memorial. That was done for a purpose. The purpose being the uniting of the nation after the brutal and terrible Civil War. It is moving. It is exactly the way it should be. And now it's going to be ruined.
And like, I've seen the Arc de Triomphe. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me
Same.
wrong, it's beautiful.
It's
But-
lovely.
Have you ever had to like try to drive around
Oh
there?
my God, it's a nightmare.
Right? Oh my God. Like,
And if you
I
get
have
on the
anxiety.
Champs-Élysées, it doesn't matter what happens. Nobody's insured. Everybody just explodes. That's just
Yeah.
how it is.
yeah, like I just have anxiety even thinking about it, let alone being there witnessing it. And more importantly, Trump's trying to erase literally every the only thing I can think of is he's trying to erase every other former leader that has ever existed in the United States, so much so that only he will exist.
No,
And it,
that's not what he's trying to do. He is trying. All he is thinking about is what his name, how he will be remembered in history. So he's trying to get his name on everything. So he thinks he will go down in history, and he will. He will go down in history, but not the way he thinks he's going to.
Yeah, he's got his name in history locked up. As a matter of fact, I love to consider myself an historian because history is my favorite subject, and much more than the law or anything else.
Mhm.
And he is going to keep historians. He single-handedly has saved the profession of historians because they're going to be writing about him and how the American people elected him twice for the next 50 years. I guarantee you that. They are going to be very busy beavers, and in grad schools all across America, young history majors are going to be delighted that Donald Trump did this because they're guaranteed a profession for the next 50 years.
Not
mean-
just historians, though, sociologists. Sociologists are going to.
I mean,
Yeah.
passports, money,
Mhm.
coins. If I were the next president, I'd be like, I will give you an extra 25% on every coin you return and bill you
To the
return
mint.
with his name on it. with his
And
face
then
on it.
boil him back down into the gold.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There's
Get rid of everything with his name. He's plastering his name all over the place. You want to know what Palm Beach wants to read, which apparently they're going to do? Rename it Trump Airport. Fine, you can keep that. I don't really give a damn what you do in Palm Beach.
I'm not going to
But
that
everything
one.
in Washington, D.C. with his name on it, get rid of it.
Guarantee never any chance I was ever going to Palm Beach. Not that I was probably ever going to Palm
Over.
Beach, but it's not
No.
happening now.
well,
Did he?
what
Is
coin?
he still saying though? Oh, I'm sorry, hon. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, Di. I was just like, what coins? I had heard about the passports. What happened with coins?
He
Ugh.
obviously, as you know, as everybody knows, the way you get your face on a coin is to be long deceased in the United States. Well, not for him. He's printing gold coins which are actual currency with his face on it.
250th anniversary coins with his face.
Yeah,
on it.
isn't that lovely? You know,
Oh
who
my
needs
God.
George Washington on a 250th anniversary coin? Let's have Donald Trump instead. How
Well,
my
grotesque.
He did prefer the coinage to the new paper money. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there.
So sorry, Di. What were you gonna say?
I forgot.
Oh, damn it!
No, it's okay. If it was groundbreaking, I would have remembered. And if it was just for a funny quip, it can be gone. So that's all right.
So
What's the value of the coin?
I don't-
Nothing.
I so here's the thing, and this is what they are probably doing. So they're going to release a coin that will I love how the guy comes in and goes, "You cry," and his name is Emo Boy.
Dude, look your stuff up, man. before you
That's
go.
a
What?
millennial. I'm not claiming that millennial.
Anyways, so the problem will become is not just because the coins that people use, no one uses coins anymore. So who, like I can't remember the last time I've used a coin for anything.
Well, there's a lot of pinball out there, dude.
True. But more than that, it's the people that are buying the collectible versions of all of the coinage that's going to be really annoying because those ones are going to be stuck forever.
Oh, that's what I'm getting mine for. I'm going to put it right next to my $10 pair of Converse that he spray painted gold and charged $600 for. I'd like to see
Wow.
the idiots who bought that.
Like I usually
Deal.
I usually buy the clean print coins for each of the
Mhm.
years. Not doing it for this one.
Well, and as a Canadian, I do use coins, like because we our $1 and $2 are coins. So
Yeah.
like
That's genius. That's
I-
much better.
we got rid of the penny I sometime in the early millennium. Like we haven't had pennies here forever. Like it was weird traveling to the US and seeing a penny again because I haven't seen one in so long. I was like, we still have these?
Well, we just ended them. So
You guys are
Yeah, we just got rid of them, Tiffany.
I see.
well,
the
there you go.
signs
You
up
guys caught up
saying
to Canada finally.
There's like buckets where you can put your pennies.
I just kept them. I threw them in a jar. I'm like, one day, somebody will find this jar and they'll be like, "Oh my god!"
oh yeah, if
That'd be
I ever get
$5.
if I ever get
Right.
given a coin with Trump's face on it, I'm going straight to the bank and say, "Can you give me the equivalent of anything without his face on it?"
Do you remember in
Or
his
you can
first
keep
term?
it. I don't care. I just don't want this anymore.
That too.
Exactly. Do you remember in his first term when he did that national like security alert for all the phones? You remember that? And like he had some message and people are like, well, I'm going to throw my phone out if he comes on there. But that was one of the very first things. Like, for weather or something like that, or for Amber Alert, he wanted to
Mhm.
make sure everything was going. So everyone that had like a government whatever got tested and it came up on your phone. Do you guys not remember that? Come on, I'm old lady.
I don't.
All right. Well, mainly
I'm
the
Canadian,
reason-
so I don't know.
the reason I remember is because I turned off all points from any government or anything. And so now my hubs is like, do you know there was a kid that was taken? I'm like, I didn't know. Just
You
Put it
remove
over.
coins, everything will get expensive, including sweets. That's not how
What?
that's not how it
I don't.
I was thinking, what about the dollar store, man? It's $1.25 now.
I think
That upsets me.
it's $1.75 in Canada.
Like,
For the Dollar Tree, it's $1.75. The
nothing
dollar
is
store here, it's $4.
nothing is actually a penny. So I don't know how you think everything would be more expensive, including sweets. Are you saying because now they can't say like $3.99? Like everything's got to be rounded? Okay.
That's weird.
I have to admit, a couple weeks ago when they did away with the penny, I got ticked off. I said, "God damn it! Why are they doing away with the penny? Why they do?" After 2 weeks, I'm actually thrilled they got rid of the penny because they either round down or round up to the nearest nickel. Seems fair to me, and you don't have to carry around all those pennies anymore.
Well, and when you use debit or credit card, they just charge you the actual amount with the pennies included. Like it's a much cleaner, easier, seamless system. Like I said, here in Canada, it's been decades that the penny's been gone. So like for me, I'm just used to it. It was weird going to the US. It was the last time I was in the US, it was really weird because I haven't had somebody take my credit card and go run it through a machine somewhere in like decades. Like they just bring it to your table here and you just tap and that's the end of the story. Like I was watching this and I haven't had to sign a credit card receipt and I don't even remember how long. So like I was like I was like this is Anaheim. Like how does Canada have more advanced technology? I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, for me, my big penny issue here is I like to get a whole bunch, put them in a can, and shake them at people when they're saying bullshit at me.
And here's the thing. They could sit here and they do exactly what they do in like gas stations when it comes to cash or credit. If you pay credit, they don't have to round up because it's all not real anyways. When it has to do, if you pay with cash, then they have to round up or down or however they decide to do it. Like there's so many ways you could get around it that is not like sitting here like, oh, you can't do that. Like you can. It's just different.
It ends up rounding out eventually because you'll have some things that round up and some things that round down. And in the end, it's very negligible, whatever the difference is. And yeah, how it works in Canada is when you go to use your debit or credit card, you get charged exactly to the penny, whatever the thing is. If you pay cash, they round up or down depending on the thing, and it's to the nearest nickel, and it's fine.
Okay, well, we're new to this here in the United States. It's only been around for a few weeks, I guess. So here's my question. This popped into my mind right away. Okay. If the charge is $1.62, you win. They're only going to charge you $1.60. If it's $1.64, you lose. They're going to charge you $1.65. What do they do with $1.63?
I was told there'd be no math here. No math.
The $1.63, I believe, rounds up. But don't quote me on that. I'm gonna go look. I very rarely ever pay anything cash anymore because this is essentially what happens is you very rarely see cash anymore. Some places don't even really accept cash in restaurants. It's all like just card here in Canada now. That's why it seemed the last time I was in the United States, which was just after COVID, I think 2021, so like 5 years ago. That's why it seemed so archaic to me, the whole system, because it's just like online banking. I don't even remember the last time I went into a bank for any reason, or even through the drive-through of the bank. I do all of it online. I never so I'm going to go look. I think it rounds up, but don't quote me on it. I'm going to go look to confirm because I want to be accurate.
Are you in a rural area? I'm just curious.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm in a major city. I'm in the capital city of Alberta in E-Town. For all the Canadians, they'll know what I mean by E-Town.
E-Town.
Edmonton.
There doesn't need to be legislation for them to round up or round down. This is the thing. It's not shorting. These guys can charge whatever they want. We just have to understand that they're doing it. And then you decide whether or not it's worth it for you. And again, if it's, I don't know.
It's one more thing. Just put it on the stack, fine. I don't want your pennies anymore. I don't want your face on my stuff. Like,
Mike, it's about 1 o'clock. I have to get going.
Yeah, I
thank
should
you
get off
so.
too.
Oh, I
Oh,
was
then
gonna.
I'll wait. I'll wait to the
Yeah.
end. Then.
It does round up, and here's the reason, and this is actually very logical. Because when it's 1 cent or 2 cents, it rounds down. When it's 3 cents or 4 cents, it rounds up. So either way,
Oh, okay.
yeah. See,
Okay.
I was like, I'm pretty sure 3 goes up, but I'm
It
like,
works. Yeah. Because if it was 165, there's no rounding at all. It's 165.
exactly, and the 0 is no rounding. So there you go. So
Ah.
that's why I said it. The amount that you lose is negligible, and even then, think about the money saved on the mint that you pay in taxes and what it costs the mint to create all those
Yes,
pennies. So essentially, it's a wash in my mind. It's not.
See, that's why we have Tiffany here, because I did this high math. I never was good at math anyway. This high math gets very confusing for me.
And again,
Thank you, Tiffany.
And
You're welcome.
you know, Madam Misandrist, you are allowed to believe that. I personally believe that we're getting shorted by everybody all the time anyways. And I'm just that of all of the things that I can be upset about, that is low on the totem pole of being worth being upset about. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for sticking around for an extra hour. What's up, Captain? Good morning. We're just getting off.
We're just leaving.
I will probably come back on later tonight because my daughter's here, but she's probably gonna go out with friends later, and which means I'll have nothing to do. So I'll probably go live later tonight if people want to hang out. Maybe we'll do something different. I don't know. Fortnite.
Can we do the music party night? We haven't done one of those in like a really long time. The dance party nights. Where people can request songs.
Geez, that Fortnite sounds fun. I'd be really good at that.
You'd be so good at Fortnite.
You can
I would.
come read case law.
All these games, I'm just really awesome at.
I could teach everybody
doubt
how
it.
to do journal entries and how to reconcile a bank statement.
Ouch. I just
That's
got
There you
something that
go.
I've
Some more
always
math
wanted
for
to
everyone
learn.
for tonight. We can round those pennies together. It'll be great.
I just saw a glimpse of purgatory.
Mission to answer your question. My next birthday will be my 70th. I have never once in my life played any game at all. Those, video games or whatever. I remember when they came out. I never played any of them. I wouldn't know how to play. Oh, I have what's it called? A Game Boy or whatever it's called?
Mhm.
That's
What do they call the thing the kids hit the buttons with?
It's a
just
Game
call
Boy.
it the thing. That's the best.
But I would be totally lost trying to play any of that.
Or now
Oh
it's
man,
called a
Mario
Switch.
Kart's the best though. Mario Kart is amazing.
Oh, it's true. Rainbow Road, yes, please.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't even know, Zoe, what Super Mario is. I've heard the phrase. That's as close as I've come to it.
All right. Thank you guys so
yes.
much. Again, if you like what we do, if you like what this podcast is about, and you want to help make it possible for me to do some of the things that I want to do, we do have I'm going to say it now because I'm about to get off a GoFundMe. So if you are able to give, there's a link in the bio. If you're on TikTok, there's a link tagged. If you're on YouTube, and there's also a link in Discord. So please, if you can, I would appreciate it. If not, I totally understand. It's pretty rough right now. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the gifts. You guys rock. And I will see you all tomorrow morning, where who knows what stupid thing this administration is going to do that we're going to talk about. You guys are amazing just the way you are, and I love you all very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to sing, laugh, dance, smile. Go do something that makes you happy. Get some vitamin E. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.